Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Yamesh Gupta. In this video, I'm going to show you how as front-end engineers we can start with AI models and AI tools. We are not going to talk about the deep math or custom models or neural networks or anything, but we will understand that how we can use existing tools with and integrate them into our company, our day-to-day job, or maybe use the existing LLMs to build side projects or products. I personally know people who have used these models to build impactful features in their day job, or they have built side projects or products out of these, and they are earning pretty well. So now it's your chance to learn this and learn it in a very easy manner and use these AI existing tools to build something out of it. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Before starting with the video, I would like to show you or announce my guide to front-end system design interviews. A lot of people reach out to me on social platforms, on YouTube, or personal messages that they want me to create content on front-end system design. However, I don't want to simply create content that is similar to rest of the people or rest of the resources you see on the web. That's why I created this guide where it would be, we will talk about building a generic framework that can be applied to any front-end system design interview. We will talk about the topics that are covered. We'll talk about the communication strategy, requirement strategy, how to tackle questions, how to even ask questions, and what sort of common pitfalls are there, how to recover, and what is key factors that sets apart a candidate in an interview, and what are the judging criteria. And there are a lot of more things in this guide. You can go to this link, devtools.tech/fst-guide, to get this. Plus, if you like this video, comment on this video and share it on any social platform of yours, particularly this video, then you will get a specialized coupon which will give you 20% off on this guide. And once you get this guide, you will get access to 1 year of updates. That is, if I make any update to this guide in the next 1 year, you will get the free access to it. So the prices are going to increase soon, and this coupon is not going to last long, the 20% off thing. So go to this link. Links would be mentioned in the description, in the comments, plus it will show up on the screen also. Go check it out, and if you like it, then I'm pretty sure this guide is going to help you if you are preparing for interviews, or if you just want to upskill and want to learn more about system design. So let's start the implementation. In this video, to learn about the AI, we are going to build a simple code reviewer app. Basically, we will have a 2 column layout where we can write code, and AI will give the review on our code. Basically similar to a PR review. We are going to build something of that, a very simple app using an LLM model, and we are going to locally run that model. So now so this is a simple client-side app using React, TypeScript, and the bundler is via Byte. And so here we can see that it just says a black screen with some text. So let's build the 2 column layout. So I'm going to remove this for now because we don't need it. We need 2 columns. So let's create the column 1. I'm using Tailwind here. So it's going to be class name and h full, because we want full height. We want 2 columns, so width would be 50%, and let's make it relative for now, and let's say this is going to be our editor where we are going to write the code. Or let's do one thing, let's create a components folder here, and inside this we are going to create editor.tsx. Inside this we will copy this part, we'll say editor, and let's return this, and we are going to export the editor here, and let's import the editor. We are just going to render it here. Now if we go here, oh, the server is not running, so let's do npm run dev. So we have the server. We will come here, so it says editor here. Let's increase the font size just to show you. We can say text 8 excel, I think this was the class. Yeah, so this is our editor, and if we say bg background black something, so yeah, so this is the editor component here. But we need some way to write code here, so we can use code mirror. So let's install that. Let's see, do we have the code mirror already installed? No, we don't. So let me see, react code mirror. We have this component, react code mirror. Let's copy this. I think we need the language also, but for now let's take this. We will clear this, and the code mirror is currently getting installed. So we have the code mirror now in the dependencies, so we will import it. We are going to say code mirror from, we'll import the code mirror component here, and inside this we are going to just simply render it. Let's say, let's give it a min height of 100 vh. What else do we need? If we see the documentation, we need the value and extensions. Okay, and I think we might need on change also, so let's add that. So value, let's say hello world, and on change maybe an empty function for now. And if we go back here, see, we have this hello, but the text is coming in white for now. Let's remove this background black text. Let's add a theme. I think theme should be good. Theme dark maybe. Yeah, see, hello world we can see. And if I create, so we are not seeing syntax highlighting for now. Let's see if we can add that. So I think it needs this JavaScript code mirror package. So let's take this npmi, let's install this. It's going to take a couple of moments. We can copy paste the code from here for now. So let's copy this. It's already installed. Now we can say extensions JavaScript JSX2. I think this should do the job for now. Yeah, so if you see, we have the syntax highlighting now, where we are seeing. Let's increase the font size to make it better. So we can say style maybe, or do we have the font size as prop? No, font size, it's taking font size. So let's say 30. I'm not sure if it's going to take, but it's saying, so font size is not a property, not a prop, so we can pass a style. We can say font size 30 pixels maybe. Yeah, so much better now. And if we return something, yes, we can write here. Oh, my bad. Yes, we have this now. So this is our editor is done. First we are doing just the UI part, basic UI part. We are not doing anything crazy here. This is what is the bread and butter of of us front end engineers, building the UI. So we have built the editor, a very simple editor. Now let's add this. So git add, git commit, added editor. And if I remove this, now we need a place where we can show the review. So let's add a component here. We can say uh, review.tsx. Here we are going to show the review. So it's again going to be a component. We are going to export it. Inside this we need markdown preview. Let's say our review would be in markdown format. So markdown react npm. What do we have? We have react markdown. I think this should also work. Let's say react markdown. I haven't used. I think this also gives a react markdown. Let me check my this particular package. Yeah, this one from the same company. Let me install this one. So npm I, oh, double npm I, I've copy pasted that, but I think it should work. And one till it's getting installed, let's see how to use it. We need source, and we can have some style here. Okay, so if I copy this and I just take it here, let me close this. We can return the markdown preview here. Let's say source is review would be here. We need some wrapper also, so that we can have the same just like editor. So let me copy this and let me paste it here, and maybe we can have the same style. Rather than padding, we can say font size 30 pixels. Now if we come back here and if I go to if I oh, we haven't imported it, so let me import this. Import review from review. Let me take this. Let me see. We have the, oh, height is not there. Height is not there. H full works. uh, if I give it a height of 100 vh, yeah, see, now we have the both the things, that this is the editor where we are going to write the code, and whatever review we are going to get, that we will show here. So, and maybe we need a button to generate the review. So first let's add this git added review component. I haven't set up the git aliases, so I'm typing everything. Now inside the editor, let's do one thing. Let's add a button here, which is going to say generate review class name. I already have the classes written somewhere. Let me find them out, because uh, the classes are pretty big in Tailwind, so I might have something already written somewhere. Let me just copy paste that for now. So see, we have the button here. Basically we are doing nothing crazy. We are just saying that takes the maximum width of the content. It should be absolute bottom 3 and right 3. We are just absolutely aligning it here. Then we are saying background color 500. We are providing the set index. We are saying padding 2 rounded, and if we hover, then change the background color. If it's active, then do something. If it's disabled, then 75% opacity, pointer events none on disabled, and the cursor not allowed on disabled. So I just copied it over because it's too long to type. Now the basic UI is done, but we need some data management here because we need to share the data. So let's uplift the data. So we need a state to store the code we are going to write. So rather than seeing use state from React, I don't like react.useState. We'll have the code here. So we'll pass the code to the editor, and we are going to have a on change handler, which is going to say set code, and we are going to set the value, and we are going to pass the on change here. Now it's throwing error because we haven't added the types. So we can say code and on change. Now code would be string, and on change would be a function inside the editor, uh, where it's going to be value which is going to be a string, and it's not going to return anything. Oh, it's not going to return anything. And let's use this value. So you can say code, and this on change would be on change. So this works fine. We come to our app, we have this. So if I say a default code, let's say hello world, then we should see it. Yeah, so let me just refresh it. Yes, we still see it. Now we are going to store the review also, so we need something for review. So we can say review, set review, and maybe by default review would be here, and we'll pass the review to the review component. Let's import this. We are going to get the review. It is going to be a string, so we are going to add the basic type, and here we are going to pass the review. So far so good, nothing we have changed. It's throwing an error, but we'll set it. Let's clean up our code a bit. I mean, I have lifted the state at the very top level, so if any change is made here inside the editor component, then it re-renders the entire root level component, and it re-renders the review component itself when it's not required. So let's take this, let's go to our editor. Maybe we'll have it here, and inside this we'll just import useState from React, and we will have this code. We don't need, I think we might need a on submit. So, or let's say on generate review, you can have this. It will pass the code, and it is not going to return anything. It will pass code here. Let's remove this, let's remove this, and we can say on change, we can say value, or we can directly pass set code here. This is, we are going to say on click, we are going to have on generate review, and let's go to our app. Let's clean this up. We don't need this, we don't need this also. We need on generate review, and here we can have handle generate review. It is going to return, get the code. Let's copy this, and nothing changes here in terms of UI and functionality as of now. So let's add a alert here which says generated review, and if I click on this, it says review generated. So this works fine. Now we need to, if we review right now, we are building a simple code reviewer app. We have built the 2-column layout where we can write code and AI will give the review. So that means we need some backend, because once we make a call, once we submit this, there should be a backend call. So let's implement the backend here. So in our, or maybe at the root level, let's build a let's have a folder called server. Inside this we'll have index.js. I'm writing in JS for the server only. I think Express is already installed in this GitHub repo. Let me see, do we have Express? Yes, we have Express. So let's build a very simple server. So we can say import Express from Express, and we'll create an instance of Express. We can say port is 3000, and we can say, so it's going to see now this is the AI in itself. The copilot is already pre-filling a lot of things for me, and we can say app.listen port inside this, and we can have server is running on this localhost. Why is it breaking? 3000 app dot send. Let me return this. This is working fine. This needs, yeah. So now if I go here and if I say npm, not npm, if I say server and node index.js. Server is running on 3000, and if I say localhost 3000, see, we are getting the hello world here. So that means our backend server is up and running. So what we can do here is we can make a fetch call from here, which we can say fetch, and we'll make a request to our localhost 3000. We can say API slash v1 slash reviews, and inside fetch, let's say it is going to be, the method is going to be post. It's saying application JSON. See, it is already pre-filling a lot of code. It's saying we are stringifying the code here which we are getting, and once we do response.json, then we get the review and we'll set it. Now if we go to our backend code again, we need to create this route. So rather than get, we can say post API v1 reviews, and we'll get the, so now this is, we are on the client side, we are passing JSON, so we need to handle that. So in express we can do app.use express.json. so inside our body we will get this, so we can do request.body.code. I think we'll have the code here, and we can console log it even here, code, and we can return the JSON inside the object where we can say, or maybe review, uh, your code is awesome. Let's make it h1, and now we come back response.json json. This is fine. That says data.review. We will have the data.review. Now I need to restart my server on the client side or server side. Let me come back here. If I refresh this, why do we have hello world and everything? Okay, this is the default, so let me remove the default code here, and it says on click void is not assignable. We'll fix this. I'll fix this, but let's go back to the implementation here, and if I refresh, we will have the go to review. This review we are getting here from app.tsx. Let's have make it an empty string. So let's see if we are making the call. So if I go to my inspect element right now and I zoom in a bit, let's first go to console. Let's say I add a dummy code here, and then I just click on generate review. It's throwing an error. Let's see what we are doing wrong. If we remove and make it HTTP, and if I copy this, I refresh this, then also we are getting, that means something is wrong with our JSON dot stringify hello world. Let me comment this out for now, and inside this we can say console.log json.stringify code. Let's see what are we getting here. Let me refresh. It is still breaking. So if I do console log code, let's see what are we getting here. Oh, such a rookie mistake. So inside our editor component, if when we are getting the event, so here what we are going to do here is that we are going to pass the code here. That's the issue. So if I come back to my app dot tsx, I reset this. Let me set this again. Let me remove this. Now I use this code hello world. Rather than this, I will do json dot stringify code. I will come back. I will do this, clean it up, app. This is going to, and if I say generate, okay, it is again failing. It says there is course error. because it is blocked by course policy. What we can do, because these are on two different ports, course npm. Let me install this package for now just to fix this. So we can say uh, npmi course save, and we will use app.use, and we will go to our index.json server. So this is another middleware that we are going to add. We'll go back to our server, we'll restart it. Oh, we haven't imported it. So server started again. Basically, you can configure it and whitelist a certain domains only, but right now I'm doing whitelisting everything. So if I come back here, I'll copy this, I'll just refresh, I go back here, I generate review. See, we get a network call. There is a post request to localhost 3000 to this endpoint. We make a post request, we send the payload where the code is the one which we wrote down here, and in the response we get the review which is printed here. And if we see on the server, we are printing the code that we are getting. So let's just clean it up a bit, and we go to our node and we come back here, everything is done. Now let's make it a bit better. Let's add maybe a loader screen here. I already have a loader created, so let's create a state and set state. So this state could be maybe idle, or it could be generating, or it could be generated. And by default, let's say it's idle. And inside this we are going to say that our editor, so button is inside editor, so we need to pass, we can say is generating. We can say if state is equal to generating, then we are going to disable the button basically. And inside the review, what we can do, we can pass the same thing here. So let's take it out, we can say is generating here, and we'll pass it directly. And to our review, if we will have this is generating, we will say it would be a boolean. If it's generating, then we are going to show a loader. We'll create the loader, else we'll show the markdown preview. Now we need to create this loader, so let's add this component. We are going to say loader.tsx. I'll just copy paste the loader I have. It is a very simple loader. I'll just find, I have a css for it also written somewhere, let me find it out. Tailwind loader. So let me just copy this completely, and I'll go to my css file, which is somewhere here, index.csx or app.css. We also have app.css. I'll just copy paste the loader. This is just nothing, just a simple loader. I'll show you what it's doing. And if I go to my loader screen, I go to my review, I need to import this. I'm going to have the loader, and in my app.tsx, so editor is currently crying because we haven't taken care of the prop. So it's generating, this would be again a boolean, and we will say that the button would be disabled if it's generating. Okay, now if I go back to my app.tsx, and if I come back, oh, we need to set it also. So let's make it async await. So try, we will take it out, we will say response is equal to this, and we'll add await here to. Then once we have the response, we can say that once we have it, then we are going to do the JSON dot, we can say uh, data, and then we are going to say set state, not set state, we are going to say set review data dot review, and we need to, let's clean this up. We will have the catch, we will have the error, and inside this we are going to maybe alert something went wrong, please try again later, and let's remove this error. And before we make the call, we will say set state to generating, and once we have everything, then we will say generated start. So let's add the error here, and we'll just console log it for now. And if I go back to my code and I refresh this, so now if I generate review, then the loader is pretty quick. Let me add some delay here. So let's say it never goes to generated, it always remains at generating. And if I refresh and if I go to generate review, then see, we get the loader now, and once the API call is done, then we'll get the generated part. So we'll go to set review, and now if we review what we have done so far, we simply created a simple web app where there is two column layout for now. Let me refresh this, where here we have the code editor, we have the markdown preview here, we added a CTA to generate the review, and we just wrote a simple web app UI for this. We haven't done the AI part for now. So let's see how we can hook this up with AI. So let me just first add this everything, git add, git commit. I'll add my best commit message here, which would be knit, and let me close everything. And now we need to run the LLM model here basically on my local. So how we can do that? We have this called something called Ollama. Now this is a software which you can run on your local machine. It's like it provides you an environment to run local models. If you go to download here, then you can run this on Mac OS, you can run it on Linux or Windows. You can download it for your machine, and then you can run it. For me, it's currently downloaded, so I'll just go here, I'll do Ollama applications, and it will start running. It is running now, and if I go to my terminal and I say Ollama list, then these are the models that are already downloaded. Now you might ask, what are the models here? Basically, if you on the ollama.com, if you on this website where we downloaded Ollama, we go to model section. These are the LLMs. LLMs are basically large language models. That is the backbone of ChatGPT. Like ChatGPT is an LLM. You have Claude, you have Gemini from Google. There are different models provided by different companies, like Llama 3.3. So this Llama 3.3 is provided by Meta, and it's their state of the art model, which is trained on 70 billion parameters. The B here represents 70 billion, and they come in different configurations: 70B, 14B, 13B. If the this parameter number is higher, then the model would most likely be more accurate come in the specific task it is trained for. So this is Llama 3.3, which is released by Meta. Just like that, we have different models: Llama 3.2 vision, we have Gemma, which is released by Google, then Google's DeepMind, you have Quen, you have Pi, Llama 2, Codellama, which is specifically trained to work with code uh, code and programming languages. And this is the model that we are going to use right now. and it comes in different configurations: 7b, 13b, 34b, and 70b. These are, as I mentioned, b represents here billion, and they are of different sizes. I have already downloaded it, so that's why when I said ollama.list, we already have these models here, and we are going to use Codellama 7b. That is the specific model we are going to use. So just to recap, you can go to ollama.com, you can download the software, run it on your local machine. Then you can, let's say if you want to download Codellama, so you can say Ollama run Codellama. You can copy this command, you can add the parameter, the 7b code. Let me just copy this, and you can paste this, and you can say 7b. So this is going to specifically download that particular model on your local machine, and you can run it then. And when you do Ollama list, it will show you all the models that are downloaded. And let's see how we can use this. So inside our server.txt, I'm going to create a file called review.js inside my server folder. And inside this, now we are going to talk to that model. We are going to pass the code that we are going to write in the editor, and we will ask the model to review it and give us the feedback. So here, what I'm going to, first we need to talk to the model somehow. So for that, we are going to use an npm package called langchain slash ollama, and this is basically a library that gives us this class called chat ollama that we will use to interact with the model. So if you see, we haven't used anything unique here. We are just using simple npm packages. We have built the UI using Tailwind and React, TypeScript. Now to talk to LLMs, we just downloaded the software and installed the model. And now we are going to use this. So first we need to install this. So let me copy this. I'll go back here. I'm going to paste this, and till it's getting installed, I'm going to copy this and going to paste it here. Now we need to change the model name because we are going to use Codellama 7b, and we are going to pass the temperature as 0. Now you might ask, what is this temperature? What exactly is this doing? So if I go to, let's say, OpenAI API reference, let me show you the official documentation. It says that this value ranges between 0 to 2, sometimes it's 0 to 1 also. Higher values like 0.8 will make the output more random, while lower values like 0.2 will make it more focused and deterministic. Now what does that mean? So let's say the sky is dot dot dot. Now the answer could be blue, it could be gloomy, it could be dull, and whatnot, based on the context in which this conversation is happening. If the temperature is a higher value, closer to 1, 2, then the model has freedom to use creative words. This is most likely useful when you are doing something like essay writing, when you are building an application that is maybe going to do essay writing, resume writing, some creative field, then you want the temperature to be high. But in our case, when we want the code review, we want our output to be more deterministic, more focused, more accurate, and more correct. That's why we are going to use 0 as the temperature value. Based on your use case, you can play around and modify this configuration. Now let's build a function called generate review, and it's going to get the code here. Let's make it an async function for now, and inside this we are going to invoke the conversation with the model. So what we are going to do here is that we are going to say that we have a response. Let's create an instance first. So LLM, we are going to create a LLM here, or in this case we can say LLM here because I want to keep the name large language model. LLM dot invoke, and we are going to pass an array of arrays here, which is going to be we are going to assign roles here. So first it's going to be system, where we are going to provide some instruction to the model, and then we are going to do the human part. Wait, or in this case human, and here we are going to have the code, and we are going to await this. And once we have the response, then we are just going to return response dot content. Now the here comes the important part. We need to tell the system what we want to do. Let's say we say that or let me create something called prompt. So here the where the prompt part comes in, we will say uh, you are an expert front-end engineer, review the following code briefly. So this is a prompt that we are creating, and we are going to pass it as a system instruction, and then we'll pass the actual code here, and we are going to return it. And here from this we are going to return generate review method. So nothing crazy we are doing. We are just uh, getting the code from the server, as in from the client, then we are passing the code to the LLM model. We are trying to invoke a chat here, and then whatever response we are getting, we are going to return that response dot content to back to the consumer. So inside my index.jsx, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to import it. So I'm going to import generate review, and here I'm going to say my review is going to be generate review, and I'm just going to await it. And let's make it a async function. We need to add try catch here also. Let's say if something fails, because this is await, we can say catch error, uh, maybe return response dot status, let's say 500, and send a message something went wrong. Now we get the review here, and we will pass that review now. And if I go back here, if I go to my server, let's close this. Let's it's saying which one, review.js, review.js. Why is that? Why is that default? I don't think that should be the issue. Oh, weird. Now we have restarted our server. Let's go back here. Let me come here. Let me find a dummy code. Let me have this dummy code here. So basically this is the count by method from Lodash. This is a commonly asked interview question where you have to create a polyfill for this. Now if I open the inspect element, and if I go to network tab, and if I click on generate review, then we make a request where we pass our code here. Now it's going to take some time because this Ollama is running on my Mac, my local machine, and we are running the model. I'm running a light model. Still it's going to take some time because it's going to invoke the chat. And see, we have this response from the model. Let's clean this up a bit, or have a better UI here. So we'll go to review. We can say padding 20 pixel, but it's going to remove, yeah. And inside this we will say overflow scroll, see. And let's make it min height. See, now much better. So we copy pasted our code here. We clicked on generate review. The request went to our server. On our server, we invoked the conversation with an LLM model, the particularly Codellama 7 billion with 7 billion parameters. We provided a prompt here where we mentioned that you are an expert front-end engineer, review the code briefly, and this was the prompt. And then we passed our code, and once the model gave us our response, then we returned it from the server, and then we printed on the client. Now you can go through this review. It says this is a JavaScript function that takes two argument collection and iterate and so on, and the first function get the keys of the collection and blah blah blah. So it is giving us some output. So let's see how we can improve this. So let me copy paste something here. which is going to be our prompt. So if we see the prompt here, it says you are an expert front-end engineer. Review the following code briefly. This is consider the LLM as a very smart 5-year-old, but they will only do as much as you tell them. So now it's your ability to express the instruction in whatever best capability you can. As we grow in our careers, we are often taught that your ability to express yourself, to communicate the ideas, to break down the ideas, to express the instructions is very important. The same thing applies here. The soft skills is basically prompt engineering. There's nothing uh, nothing extraordinary about it. Your ability to express your requirement to an LLM or to a text model, AI model, is what prompt engineering is. So let me comment this out. I'm going to paste this here. So I'm going to show you one prompt which is, I would say, a bit better, but there could be better prompt than this. But here it says that or let me copy this. It says you are an expert front-end software engineer reviewing the code in an interview. You need to review and complete the tasks, and the task here says analyze the code thoroughly, suggest improvements related to code quality, performance, maintainability, structure, or best practices, uh, provide enhanced code snippets wherever appropriate, identify potential issues, do not have a conversational in way of talking. It says your response should be in markdown format. You can even specify if you want JSON or something like that. I particularly want markdown, that's why. Then we provide some key guidelines. We say if that uh, add comments, provide the review. If no changes are needed, then clearly state no necessary improvements, and so on. So this is a more elaborate, more verbose prompt that we are using here. We are giving very clear instructions to the LLM. So let me clean this and let me restart the server. So if I copy my code here, I'll just refresh this, I'll paste it here. Then I again click on generate review. This is again going to take a couple of seconds because I'm running it on my local machine and we are running the model here. And if we come back here, then see, we have again the output here, but it's more structured now. It says this is the review, this is my suggestion, and then it gives you the code. It tells you what is you should use. It should use that there is a map rather than you should use a reduce, and so on. So now you can the sky is the limit. The better prompt you write, maybe you can add some highlighting here for code highlighting. Maybe you can use a more stronger model. Right now we are using Codellama 7 b with 7 billion, but you can use Codellama with 70 billion or 145, whatever is there in the market. Now if we review that, as front-end engineers we have built a fully functional code reviewer app. Like the first draft is ready, but we haven't done anything extraordinary. We just built a simple UI using Tailwind, React, and TypeScript. We made a fetch call, post fetch call to server. We added an express API, and we got the data. We installed Ollama on our local machine, and we installed a model. We are running that model, and we invoked a conversation with that model, and we passed on our prompt, our instructions, and the code that is written by the user. Once we have the response, we are just printing on the screen. Done. You have a AI working model here now. So how can we even improve this app further? So right now when we clicked on generate review, there was a loader and we have to wait for a while. So let's improve the user behavior. So this is the Devtools Tech platform where you can come and practice for interview question. This is the same count by question. So if I copy paste my solution here, let's say I'm preparing for interviews, and I wrote down this solution. I click on run, and then it's going to take a couple of moments to run, and then all my test cases are passing. But can I do better? Can I improve my code? So we'll use the advanced version of the app we have just built. DevTools Tech platform has this functionality that if I click on generate code review here, then it is going to generate the code, but as soon as we get the response from the LLM model, we start printing it. This is the same behavior that you see in production grade apps like ChatGPT, Claude AI, and all those things. That as soon as we have the response, we start printing it. This is HTML streaming. I'm not going to show you the tech behind it. It's very simple. You can search for HTML streaming. Plus, on the DevTools Tech platform, you see the model is pretty fast. We don't have to wait for the loader like too long, and it is using an advanced model. Because on my server, I'm running a very advanced model. I'm running a bunch of models like Codellama, Codellama, DeepSeek Coder, and whatnot, different models. We can even further improve this. Let's say tomorrow I add a chat box here where you can ask the AI reviewer that you provided me this key changes or this review, but I want you to uh, explain something. Then you can make it conversational. Now, to make it conversational, you need to have the model maintain the history. Now, how you implement it, that's up to you. Maybe you pass, you can store it on your server and pass all the history to the model, something like when we pass system and human here. So for system, then human, then system, and then human, and so on. So how you pass and maintain it, that is up to you. Some libraries provide this memory management on their own, but you can explore this. Another thing to be mindful of, like, you can, now you know how to use these models and build these apps. I personally know people who have used this to build GitHub extensions, to VS Code extension, Chrome extensions, build things to automate slides, automate video creation, social media tools, and whatnot. But you have to be mindful, because in this DevTools Tech platform, you come here, you solve your question, the and whatever code you write is going to my in-house model. But if you're not running any in-house model, let's say you go to something like DeepSeek, I think. So this DeepSeek is basically going to provide you APIs that you can use to talk to the model, like their particular model. And if you see their pricing, it says 0.014 for 1 million tokens each word. Like this, each word which we are going to pass is a token, and they are saying 0.04 cent 14 cents for 1 million tokens. But this is a third party API. We can all run our servers, but we still use AWS for managed services. Similarly, we can use DeepSeek or other API providers like OpenAI, Claude, and other, and we can have a conversation with their models. But you have to be mindful of data security, data leakage, and data. Yeah, if you are using it for, let's say, for your company, then you have to get it vetted. Whichever third party API you're using, you have to get it vetted with your legal team so that you don't pass your proprietary data to third party APIs. Another way is that you run your own GPU server and you run these models on your server, and but that will take time and management, and you have to optimize it for your use case. So the choice is yours. But in the end, we have used, as front end engineers, we have used off the shell tools. We just brought them together. We use things we know like Node.js, React, TypeScript, Tailwind, npm packages, and we have built a fully functional AI app. So this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new today. My aim was to make the whole this AI adoption for front end engineers specifically simple and easy to use. Now you know how to build your own systems. You can use this knowledge to build features in your company, or maybe build a side project, or maybe build a product out of it, whatever is your use case. uh, like I mentioned in the start of the video, like if you like, comment, and share this video on your social platform, then you are going to get a personalized coupon code which will give you 20% off on my new system design guide. You can use the link devtools.tech/fsd-guide. You can, I am telling you that this guide will help you better prepare for front end system design interviews. Plus you will get 1 year access of all the updates that are I'm going to do. And if you want to book a session with me, just want to talk, then you can use topmate.io/Yomesh Gupta to book a session or reach out to me. And If you have any questions, if you want to share your feedback, anything I could have done better, anything you want more clarity or want to share your opinion with me, then please do mention in the comments. Do like, share and subscribe this video and the channel. So till next time, see you, take care, bye bye.